These insights brought to you by SETA.
The problems with the small business are not only well known, but they are global. The constraints that affect small businesses are basically issues like capital, skills, management know-how, access to market, regulations, and so on. And and they are global. And so South Africans cannot really claim that our small businesses are discriminated against. I mean, it's a discrimination that is global in nature. But I think that what we need to do in our country is to accept that we've got a host of support agencies, whether it's SETA, it's the SETAs, it's KULA, it's the advisory councils, and so on. But the question is, how do you bring them together to work in concert so that you can really have more better returns out of the investment that has been made.
Yeah. How exactly do you bring these bodies together, though?
Well, by making them, by creating a framework within which they are forced to work together. Because expecting them to work together on their own is expecting too much, because each and every one of them have got their own performance agreements and so on. And they are going to look at to what extent, I mean, they meet their objectives with their organizations. But if it's all part of the performance agreement between the CEO and the board is the extent to which that CEO has utilized the services of other allied entities, then you can have a situation in which they start working together to achieve the common objective. Now, regarding this conference, I think that the whole issue is small businesses. You've got the bulk of black businesses, of small black businesses, are in the micro sector. So the challenge is, how do you skill them so that they become more formal and they play a more progressive role in the economy than just being a survivalist, family concerns or one person concerns, and so on. And this really, I believe, is the greatest challenge that is facing South Africa, because we are very good at creating new entities, venture creation, but we are not very good at ensuring that those entities that we have created graduate into the next level. So my strategy then, which I've proposed to a conference, is a graduated approach in which we focus firstly on making sure that we focus on localities. So therefore you look at Soweto, you say, to what extent in an area like Soweto are all the agencies represented, and to what extent are these agencies working together to better Soweto businesses, and are these Soweto businesses classified in terms of startups, those who have been around for 2 years, those who have been around for 4 years, and so on. And it's a program in which they are making sure that those who have been around for 2 years actually have their turnovers increased, they increase their employees, and so on. And we don't have those plans, such plans in place. So this is what my strategy is going to be. And I believe that that type of focused approach will give us the outcomes that we want.
How do you skill small business development?
Well, there are so many SETAs. I mean, and each one of them, I mean, has got is a specialist in some part of the economy. There's the food SETA. So you've got to look at what role the food SETA can play in Soweto. You've got the MESETA in terms of the manufacturing, and to what extent are they playing a role in the manufacturing and engineering operations within the townships. And then you've got the other SETAs. I mean, there's a whole lot of them. So it's a question of bringing this whole knowledge together, looking at the local economy as to what type of knowledge is needed, and then bringing in that, because the knowledge is there. Even the investors have got the knowledge, but it's not being brought together in one package and used to develop a specific group of people so that they graduate from one level to the next level.
Yeah. Which sectors specifically do you find lack skills development, and in terms of thinking of the bigger picture?
Well, in terms of, I'm in Soweto, I work in Soweto, so it's across the board. It's across the board, and that's why the township businesses are not doing very well. They're not very competitive. You have a construction, there are construction companies, but you still find that the people who build Orlando Stadium come from outside of Soweto, then there's something that shows that the people in Soweto were not able to really convince the council that they can do the job.
What should small businesses do right now to gauge from the World Cup?
Well, I think that the question is what is still available in terms of the World Cup. So I think that it's only perhaps the hospitality sector where they can still play a role. So I believe that the SETA in the hospitality sector really has been doing quite a lot. I've seen what they've been doing, and I've read of what they've been doing. They've been doing quite a lot. But the question now is going to be to measure to what extent their clients have benefited from that impact analysis. Has got to be the order of the day, because right now we seem to be giving services all over the place, but we never measure the impact of the services that we have given. And I think it's about time now that we focus more on impact than on creating new institutions.
These insights brought to you by SETA.